Hello again, I'm Amir with another video installment with our AP Flow. We're in our beautiful Newport location. We got Coach Nick behind the camera. We have Coach Mai here. This one is called Sparring with the Stimulus. Now, if you've noticed that a lot of the AP Flow has some martial arts influence on it, and this one is no different. If you've ever done martial arts before, you will undoubtedly be familiar with this concept. Someone gets on YouTube, they look up a move, and like, well, that looks really cool. And then the only way to know if it works or it doesn't work is through sparring. So I go to Coach Mai, Monday night class. I try my ninja touch of death move, and it doesn't work at all. He knocks me out, or he chokes me out, or he counters it. So I get the question of how do I discover cues? How do I unlock the different intentions from a previous video? How do I go from one intention to 15 or 20? And the answer to that is you have to spar with the stimulus. So when you see an exercise program that you've never seen before, or you've never done before, more importantly, it's critical that you spend time exploring that movement. So if you're an Olympic lifter and you only have 2 lifts on your program, or you're a power lifter and you only have 3 lifts on your program, I know there's obviously more, but if you have a limited program, it could take you 100 years to do all the exercises, right? So it's natural for there to be exercises that show up on a student's program that are never on your program, but you have to become familiar with them. So just by asking a colleague, hey, what does this look like, or how do I do this, it's not enough to establish multiple intentions. And one of the exercises that came up, and now the one that we're going to use as an example, is the prone alternating straddle runner. So it's going to say prone alternating straddle runner. So Coach Mai is going to hop up on here. Now, not every reverse hyper machine has 4 handles, so we're just going to assume that everyone has 2 handles. So he's going to go on there, and he's going to do the prone straddle runner. Okay, this is the words on a page version. So he's doing alternating right leg, left leg, easy. But him exploring this movement and becoming a black belt in that movement will unlock the different intentions. It'll start to get him to think about what cues he wants to use. If you can come in, Nick, and get a little closer look at his handles. So now he has a full grip. So how does that feel like? So he registers, what does this feel like? Now, if he went thumbless grip, what does that feel like? That's 2 intentions. What if he went joystick? What if he went open palm? Open palm, or what if he went palms flat? Okay. So go ahead and grab full grip, because those are explorations that he can do in that exercise. Now when he goes here, so here his leg is tucked, and then it gets harder as he gets a longer lever. Go ahead and push out, because now this is at its hardest, and as it comes in, it becomes easier and easier. Very easy. Same thing on the other side. That's the words on a page version. But what if I resisted it on the horizontal and then switched my hand to the inside of the knee and then resisted it that way? What if he brought his leg to the pad, like just a gentle kiss, and what if he brought it through the pad, like through? Go ahead and give me some space here and capture that towel and don't let me have it. What if he did that, right? So that's another intention. What if he was plantar flexed? What if he was dorsiflexed, right? What if he has some abduction, kind of like an A-frame here? What if he was more narrow, where it was more adducted? These are all various intentions with the same exact movement. So you can see he has an elevated torso. What if he was laid flat? What if he was... We're working on thoracic extension, so he gets a little bit more thoracic extension on the way up. What if he does that? What happens to his stomach? What happens to his stomach? Is he pushing out against the pad? Is he bracing? Is he drawing in? What if he give me a little posterior pelvic tilt and he extended downward and then raise it upward? We're just having fun. We're exploring the movement. We're seeing what works, what doesn't work, what cues he can start to think of, and what various intentions he could have just from this sample exercise. And the only way he's going to be able to do that, thank you, Mike, the only way you're going to be able to do that is you have to spar with the stimulus, especially the ones that you're unfamiliar with. If I took a professional squatter or a person who's an avid squatter, it's not going to take them very many reps to figure out how to discover more intention with the squat. However, if you have never done a prone alternating straddle runner or a ball leg curl or a low cable pull through, you're going to have a much more difficult time bringing those exercises to life unless you spar with them, unless you explore them. Now enjoy that one. Spar with the stimulus. Thank you, Coach Mai. Thank you, guys. By popular request, we wanted to do a second part to the sparring with the stimulus, and this one is the Turkish get-up. Now, if you remember the distance management video, we talked about coaching the Turkish get-up in the connected space, connected to the bell for safety reasons. Now, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to be in the perimeter just so I can discuss this. Now, the Turkish get-up, you could find it in manuals and in to a lesser degree in the gym. There's going to be colleagues who know how to go through the Turkish get-up, but Coach Mai is going to kind of go through it, the words on a page version, where it doesn't really come to life, where they're just doing a Turkish get-up kind of mindlessly. Now, they have to have a certain amount of mindfulness because it's unsafe if it's not. Now, if you've never done a Turkish get-up, you have no idea what that feels like, which is the first part of sparring with the stimulus. But then you start to develop intentions. You can go ahead and stop. You can go ahead and come back down. You have to explore, you have to spar with the stimulus to be able to see what cues are going to work or might work. You have to spar with them with the student to really understand that. And then what are the intentions? So we have various intentions. So go ahead and go into the lockout position of the bell. So just before we even get started, right? Before we even get started, we have a leg, we have a hand, we have the fingers, and we have this side. So all of those provide me with various intentions. So how much am I driving with this leg? How much am I driving with this leg? A lot or a little? How much finger pressure am I getting with this? Is he actually connected to the ground? What position are his knuckles? His palm is facing the camera. What if I had him into external rotation? What if he was in internal rotation and didn't even know it? So you can only know that if you're sparring with the stimulus. You come over a little closer. Is he getting a little bit too much neck tension? How would I know if he can disassociate his neck from his shoulders? By having him move his head side to side. Okay. So now, this is an example of sparring with a stimulus, right? So I can coach obviously that rushed Turkish get-up that you just saw, but I'm going to call out position by position, okay? So get to your elbow. Freeze. Get to your hand. Freeze. Pull your hand a little closer to your body. Okay? High hip. Thread that far leg through here. Bring that knee to the ground. Freeze. Go upright. Freeze. Bring this arm out. Give me a fist. Move your head from side to side. Make sure that we're not using the neck. Perfect. Go straight up. Step your left leg back and freeze. Find your left knee to the ground. Find your left arm to the ground. Keeping your hip high, set that leg through. Find your butt. Find your elbow. Find your upper back. Both hands to the bell. Bring it to your chest. And roll off to the side. Was that different?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it doesn't take much, but you have to explore the movement. Spar with the stimulus. Feel what different stuff feels like. Do it. Be out of position. Be in position. Know what that feels like when you're on and when you're slightly off, so that when you're cueing it, when you're coaching it, you have a firsthand knowledge of what that feels like. Go ahead and come on up. Thank you, Coach Mai. Spar with the stimulus.